So welcome folks. We're looking at Nasdaq chart. You can see the first presented fair value gap after 9:30 opening price. Between this candle, the wick of it, the low. And the high of this candle. That's the fair value gap. You extend it to your right. That's first presented fair value gap. Then we have a volume imbalance by 8:30 opening price. This gap we are seeing, you can see the void between this candle body low and this bullish candle high. That's the high of the volume imbalance. Volume imbalance high. We have the volume imbalance low. There's the volume imbalance low. Volume imbalance low. Have a CB, sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency between this candle body low of it and the high of this bullish wick. So to get a 50% of it, you use your Fibonacci to measure out the 50% of this inefficiency. You anchor from the low, that's from the high of this wick to the low of that body, candle body. What you are looking out for is the 50% level, so that's what you are interested in for now. That's the 50%, that's 0.5, that's the 50%, acting as a major support level. You can see the candle body closing at the consequent encroachment. I remove the that's the consequent encroachment of that inefficiency there. That's the 50% of this inefficiency over here. The body will tell you the story where the wick will do the damage. Have a high resting above here. That's the buy side liquidity. The buy side liquidity there. In daily time frame, We have a high, a buy side liquidity resting above this daily buy side liquidity. We have an inefficiency here too. This high I have taken, I'd like to see price create a fair value gap here. A break the consequent encroachment of this inefficiency. That's the 50% of this inefficiency in daily time frame. Go back to 4 hour. This 4 hour. You see this 4 hour candle, the week of it, this long week, where price reach out for at the 50% level of the week. The week, the half of it also acts as a support or resistance level. So to get the half of this week, use your Fibonacci. You anchor from the low of the week to where the candle body close. This is a bearish candle, open then close. So you anchor from this week low to the body close, where the body close, to get a 50% level. That's a 50% level, acting as a support level, as a major support level. That's a discount area. That's 4 hour, 50%. Up to 1 hour, this 1 hour chart. You see 15 minutes chart. This is a consolidation. You see how price took out this low. This is a set side liquidity. Set side liquidity purge. After a liquidity is taken, price will seek for the next draw on liquidity, which is this high here, resting above. That's the high there, buy side liquidity. This 830 opening gap, seeking for a liquidity resting below. So once that is done, then you target the next draw on liquidity, which is buy side liquidity resting above there. That's the buy side liquidity. Have a daily buy side liquidity here, which we like to see price trade above that. Today is Thursday, maybe before the week runs out. Study the price action, the body of the candle. The bearish candle closed at the 50% of this inefficiency, and the bullish candle opened at the 50% level. Another inefficiency resting above here. These are inefficiency CB, set side imbalance, buy side inefficiency. If you get a 50% level, you anchor like this. You can remove that. raining heavily. But then time 5 minutes time frame. See an inefficiency. This is a breaker. The up close candle there is a breaker block. It's a breaker high. That's 5 minutes breaker. A little buy side liquidity. That's minor buy side liquidity there. The high of that bullish candle there is a minor buy side liquidity. If you like to see price straight above there, see price trade at this minor buy side liquidity. See how price is making higher high. This high, have higher high, and making higher low, low, higher low, higher low. Inefficiency, that's fair value gap. Inefficiency, fair value gap. And what time of the day is 2:45 New York time. New York launch silver bullet to run to a liquidity. That is a liquidity resting above there. A minor buy side liquidity there. At 5 minutes breaker block, the high of that bullish candle is a breaker. A low, this bearish candle is a low. You have created high, then lower low. Then going up there couldn't make a higher high, you drop, then you had a higher low. This is the candle that took out the high there, making it a breaker block. that inefficiency have traded above the consequent encroachment that violated it. It's now acting as inversion, going to act as an inversion. This 50,000 inversion price have violated the consequent encroachment. That's the 50% of that inefficiency. That's the 50% of the inefficiency they have traded above it. That price have violated above the consequent encroachment. So go to act as an inversion. That's how you utilize an inversion. And we have a minor buy side liquidity there, resting above here. Utilizing an inversion fair value gap, you have to wait for price to violate a CB or BC. Once it's a BC, like this is a CB, set side imbalance, buy side inefficiency. Once the consequent encroachment is being violated, then price trade above it and stand. Then you can now utilize this as inversion fair value gap. Then you target the liquidity above. Here is a minor buy side liquidity above price. Price is going to seek for that liquidity there. This is a macro time, 2 to 3 PNC per bullet. That is 2. 2 to 3. It's a macro time. The up close candle is an order block. This is an order block. You can get the order block main threshold. This is the order block main threshold. That's the 50% of this order block. Price have traded above it and closed above with the bullish candle there. There is the 50%. Price coming there was rejected. First touch, then second touch there, violated above it. can see the movement, silver bullet up there. In 1 minute, the buy side have been taken. The buy side, except the buy side liquidity. 5 minutes inversion fair value gap. After taking a buy side liquidity there, this is a rejection block. Then price seek for the sell side liquidity resting below here at the 5 minutes inversion. This is a 5 minutes inversion. Here is the consequence encroachment. The low. Lower low, like equal lows. Okay, and equal low. That's for today. So thank you for watching.